Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. I know you guys get sick of me fooling with this hair, but you guys with the dry air, you see all the static in it? I swear it's just always going in my face, and I hate that feeling. Before we get started on the videos, I wanted to show you guys something new that I got. Can you see it there? Let me take it off so you guys can see it. So the company by the name of Jord, they got in touch with me and asked me if I would be interested in reviewing a watch for you guys. You know, just kind of mentioned it on one of my videos, and I was like, sure, why not? Y'all know Rocky loves some jewelry. Okay, and free is even better. They sent me this watch. I'm going to post pictures of it on my Instagram account so you guys can see it much closer. But they gave me a choice to pick out a watch on their website, and this is the watch that I chose, okay? Because I have been in the market for a black watch. And so let me show you guys how it came, because I got everything in the car. So it comes in this box. You guys see that there? Okay, fragile. How many of you guys are looking forward to the movie Christmas Story coming on 24 hours on Christmas Eve? I know I am. Anyway, you guys, shout out to Christmas Story. I love that movie. Anyway, it came in a very nice and sturdy box like this. And there is the company name, Jord. Even though it's J-O-R-D, it is pronounced Jord. And I know that because they told me. Inside of the box is packaged very, very nicely. It comes with a dust cloth. And it comes with a very decorative wooden box. Also with the name Jord, okay, burned into the wood there. It also has their logo on top of the box. But really, really nice. I was so impressed with this box. You know, it has the pillow on there, again with the logo, the name that the watch came on. And it's a magnetic box, so the top don't come off. And let me show you something else that's cute on here. It has like a little drawer in there, so you can put like your jewelry in there. So if you have it on your nightstand and you wanted to, you know, not have your jewelry and stuff all thrown over the place, you can put it inside of this box with your little jewelry down here in the inside. Close it up, it's hidden away. I loves me some ingenuity. You guys probably see my jewelry throughout my videos, and most of my watches, actually all of my watches that I have, are pretty dressy. I had the Apple Watch, but I gave it to Jada because it was really no purpose. I couldn't understand why I had it. I just wanted to say I had it, so I gave it to Jada. And I had always wanted something that I could kind of be a little bit more dressed down in, and I thought that this was actually a good choice. It's kind of masculine. It's kind of masculine, but I don't know. We'll see. I actually do like the watch, and it's very lightweight. The reason being is because it is a wooden watch. That is their claim to fame. The band is made out of wood. So it's a very lightweight watch and very, very well made. So nice. And I like it. So the good thing about it is I'm not the only one that gets to have a watch like this. The people down at Jord told me that I could offer a $25 off coupon to the Roxstars out there. So if you guys are interested in purchasing a watch from them, they have both men and women's styles. I believe personally that the men's styles are much nicer than the women's styles, but they have some beautiful men and women watches on there. So you could use your $25 coupon towards that. And if you want to take your chance at actually winning a watch free and clear, they're also going to have a sweepstake. So I'm going to put a link on here. It's going to be actually in the description box below. And once you guys click on that link, you can enter into the sweepstakes and you might be able to win a watch. Look, when I win, you win, we all win. So if you were interested in that, go on the website and take a little look-see. And it's not just sporty watches. They have very elegant style watches on there, very functional type watches, but they're all very nice looking watches. You don't have to have an ugly functional watch, okay? Might as well kill two birds with one stone and, you know, have something that you can totally use and look good while doing it. So again, thanks to the good people down at Jord. I thought it was cute today with my motorcycle jacket that I had on today, you guys. It's cold in Atlanta. So yeah, you guys, if you're interested, again, go onto the website. I'm going to put the website name up here on the screen. Also, details about the sweepstakes and also the $25 off coupon will be in the description box below. Y'all get into it. It's almost Christmas time. Why not? Let's talk about the king of R&B debate. So I guess on Sunday, you guys, I have really been trying to make it a point not to be on Instagram as much as I had been. I realized I was really on there way too much. When I got my new iPhone, you know, it actually lets you know how much you're on social media once a week. And when I saw how much I was on social media, I was like, Roxanne, you are really wasting too much time of your life. You could be doing way more, you know, things that are beneficial than just being on Instagram all this time. So I really tried to cut it back, and I'm proud of myself because I really have been now. But the problem with not being on social media as much is you kind of miss stories that's happening. If you ask me, social media is not necessarily the best for your, you know, your mental faculties. But anyway, Sunday, I was not on Instagram all day, so I didn't know anything about Jacquay getting on Instagram and saying that he was the king of R&B. And listen, Jacquay has every right to feel that way about himself. You know, if you don't feel like you the best in whatever you do, then who will? He has that right to feel that way. I don't know if any of us might agree with that. I just said in the Soul Train Music Awards video recently that I thought he was a cute kid. And, you know, I could tell that he looked like he had some talent. But I don't think that I would go as far. It's not that I don't think, I know for a fact that I wouldn't go as far as saying that he is the king of R&B. Jacquay's biggest hits seems to be somebody else's song that he jacked and put on YouTube. Yeah, he's had his few little hits and whatnots, but, you know, as far as like a blockbuster album that you've put out and people, you know all of your songs backwards and forwards and, yeah, no. Let's not jump the gun. Let's try getting hits that's his own music, okay? More than 3-4. And then maybe we can say maybe he's heading in that direction. I don't know if I would even go that far as to say. I just would say that he's a cute little guy for right now. If you were to ask me, I don't think anybody is in the running to be the king of R&B. Shit, R&B is holding on really by a very thin string. The genre itself is threatening to be washed away with, because even this new, I don't feel like the music of today, men or women wise, you know, SZA and all, like, to me they not R&B to me. So I don't feel like there's a king of R&B. And really, if I was gonna keep it all the way real with you guys, I think the last king of R&B that I could think of would probably be R. Kelly. Okay, nobody really wants to admit that because of his, you know, his sexual allegations and what he has done. But as far as the music world is concerned and the R&B music that has been put out there, I think R. Kelly would hold that title. And before that, I would think Bobby Brown. You know, like people who have had bona fide long-term hits in the music industry, that you know off the top of your mind. I mean, everybody knows when you hear "My Mind Is Telling Me No," you know what that song is. You ain't got to like R. Kelly or nothing. So yeah, I don't know. Nobody. I know all of these guys started to throw their names in the hat or had comments about it and all of that, but nope, I don't see an R&B king right now, okay? Definitely not The Weeknd. I just don't feel like The Weeknd puts out R&B music. I think he puts out pop music with a little bit of an R&B twist on it. But no, I just don't see anybody. So it's no debate for me to get into it with. Like I said, you can feel whoever you feel is the king, okay? But as far as Rocky is concerned, I believe that throne is still open for the taking. And if I was to choose somebody who was the closest to being an R&B king today, the closest of today's music probably would be Chris Brown. And even that, I'm not going to get into no argument about it. If you can tell me somebody better than that, then I might agree with you, you know? So, yeah, I don't think there's a king right now. It would be nice for it to happen, though. We are due for some good R&B music out there. that actually hits the mainstream, I should say. I mean, I know people are still out there making albums like Tamia. Her album is nice, and it's an R&B. I consider it an R&B song. I mean, album. And there are people out there making R&B music. Definitely, it's just that they're not being heard. So that's why I said the genre is hanging on by a string. Y'all, let me know what you think, though. Do you think that Jacque is the king of R&B? You don't even sound right saying it. It sounds ridiculous. Throw y'all names out there in the hat. Okay, and let me know if you agree or disagree with me. Y'all talk about it in the comments below. You guys, so Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam. I really don't think that it's Hassan. That's what my damn iPhone has changed the name to be. But I believe his name was Bill Haslam or Halsam. He's the governor in Tennessee. He said in a recent speaking engagement, there was a Black Lives Matter person that was asking him if he felt like Centoya Brown's conviction that she was serving was, lawfully just. Is that right? Am I saying that right? Lawfully just. He felt like it was unjust that Centoya Brown, back when she was 14 years ago, so she's now 30 years old, she was sentenced with murder for murdering a John that she was paranoid was going to try to attack her. Okay, if you don't know much about Centoya Brown's story, when she was a child, she was forced into prostitution. She became a victim of the whole sex trafficking community. Had this pimp by the name of Cutthroat who had her on drugs, who was beating her constantly, mentally abusing her, physically abusing her, and had become basically a wreck in some drug-induced haze most of the time. And when she was with this John, she thought that he was going to attack her, and she ended up shooting him in his chest and killing him. So she was sentenced to life in jail without a possibility of parole for 51 years. And many people have said that while she was definitely guilty of killing someone, when you look at all of the circumstances that surround her case, that, that the sentence was too harsh. Okay, now whether or not you believe that, if you feel that way, that's another story. But many people have been saying that she was a victim herself and not necessarily, should be having to serve a lifetime sentence for being as fucked up as she was at the time, So anyway, like I said, she's been in jail and people have been pushing for her case to be looked at. Well, the Tennessee governor actually told this Black Lives Matter activist that her case, I don't know what's wrong with me, you guys, my voice is shaky. The governor told him that her case is one of the cases that he's looking at to possibly give her clemency before his term ends, I believe January 19th. So possibly Centoya Brown could be getting out of jail within the next couple of weeks. I'm sure it will be in the news. We will definitely keep our eye on it. But in the meantime, you guys let me know if you believe that her case is one that they need to look at and possibly give clemency because of everything else that was going on that forced Centoya to kind of feel and act the way that she was. Or are you one of those ones that think, nope, you did the crime, you got to pay the time? We have heard of people killing people and getting way less to no time. Okay, we ain't even got to get into that debate. So it's not like it doesn't happen. And when you start to look deeper into the subject, you start to wonder if it has anything to do with her race, with it being a black woman. You guys know us black women are the lowest on the totem pole. And if there was some prejudice in the way that her sentence was served. Okay, so you guys let me know, not served, given. Nigga be trying to use big words and fucking everything up. So anyway, you guys, not that served is a big word. Child, let me get off of this. But yeah, possibly Centoya Brown may be getting out of jail in the next few weeks. We will find out from Governor Bill Haslam real soon. Then a real disturbing story that I have to tell you guys, mostly because I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't think I'm part of a high-risk group in Atlanta, Georgia. However, I have young kids. Well, not young kids, but I have teenage kids, okay? And young adult kids that I would say that are going to be active sexually, soon. And I just have to admit that to myself. And so it is concerning to know that the group that they have to pull from here in Atlanta is it is real dire, you guys. According to the CDC, 1 in every 51 people in Atlanta, Georgia have the virus HIV. Dr. Carlos Del Rio from Emory's University's Center for AIDS Research says downtown Atlanta is about as bad as a third world country. Now, I do know that there is an epidemic in downtown Atlanta. Many of the homeless people also have heroin addictions, so a lot of them are sharing needles, and that is why downtown Atlanta is a more concentrated area that has the HIV virus. But we cannot ignore that not everybody that has HIV here in Atlanta are drug addicts, okay, or homeless, people that are sharing needles and things like that. These are also young people that are having sex unprotected. So it's a scary, scary thought for my children, and I've been open with my kids, and we've talked about sex here on this on this channel as well, and just really, really stressing the importance of being not even just worrying about you getting pregnant or getting somebody else pregnant, but also just being very cognizant and protect yourself by making sure that there are condoms involved if there is sex to be had. And really just stressing that casual sex, you really can't afford to just be having it anymore. There's always a chance when you get involved with someone sexually, but I just really would like to have my children and most young people out there to get into the mindset of thinking that if you're going to be with somebody sexually, that this would be somebody that you know and that you trust and that you have seen whether or not they have been tested and they are clean, okay? I shouldn't say clean, but that they don't have the disease, okay, or the HIV and virus. So, yeah, it's a very, very scary thought for my children. 35,000 people are living with HIV here in Atlanta, Georgia. That is frightening. So what I will say to all of my rock stars out there, and I'm not counting out people that are my age and older either, okay, because it is definitely not impossible and may get caught up in having sex, with somebody that's infected. So I would just say to everybody out there to be careful and making sure that, it's later for this, real exciting, rushed, non-protected sex life just out there, wham bam thank you ma'am, and we just can't afford to be that way anymore. It's a life and death situation, okay? I know that they have this PrEP medicine now that they're asking people to to take, if you are in a group that they consider, more of a higher risk of getting the disease. I still gotta see about that as well. Okay, you just want people to be taking this medication now? That's a little weird for me as well. But, I guess if it's saving lives out there, then that's one thing. But I don't know if I would just automatically put all young adults on this medication. I feel like we still need to know more about that as well. This flu shot situation. I was just talking to my friend Debbie about it yesterday, and I've never had a flu shot. You get these shots and figure out what's best for you and your family. But for me and my family, I never got flu shots. My kids never got flu shots, except for one time my husband happened to take them for their physicals, and he told me that they got flu shots, and I was like, why? them kids ain't never had flu shots, and we've been fine. And, I know that there are some people that are in groups where they really should have flu shots, to protect them if they have a compromised immune system, or if you just feel like you need to do that, that's fine. But when you start thinking about these children that all have been born with certain issues, medically or mentally, you start to wonder if it has something to do with these immunizations that they're having people take that haven't been proven to be necessary. So that's why I'm still not clear on this PrEP medication. But I know I have some rock stars out there that are, the rock star doctors, the real ones out there. Okay, you guys tell me what you think about that PrEP drug. You can throw in if you want to about the flu shot. But yeah, I just want all of my rock stars out there to be safe, you guys. HIV ain't no joke. And if you live here in Atlanta, it really ain't a joke. So be careful. You guys, so Michelle Williams announced on Instagram that after 9 months of being together with her boyfriend Chad, what was his name? Chad Johnson. Actually, that was her fiance. He had recently asked her to marry him. After 9 months of them being together, they had called it quits. So she is single once again. I just knew. Well, I shouldn't say that I knew it wasn't going to last, but once they did that reality show, I was just like, this is a bad idea. We already know how intrusive reality shows can be. I don't care where you are. You can be on the OWN network, and it still is a view into your life. And if your life is kind of a little bit in shambles at the time, you definitely don't need cameras following you around, okay, and putting the microscope on anything that's going on in your life. Now, we know that Michelle Williams had, she was battling depression. Remember, she told us that she had checked herself into a rehabilitation center, and she was really trying to focus on getting better mentally. And that happened right after she got engaged. I just think that when you are really trying to fight to get better mentally or physically, it's good to have somebody in your corner, definitely. But sometimes you have to do these things on your own. You don't have enough mental wherewithal to be sharing yourself with another person when you really need to be selfish at the time to deal with the issues that are going on with you. This is not just something that you're dealing with on your own. You are actually in a rehabilitation center to deal with this, and then you've got to be worried about your man out there and if he's okay and all. Yeah, so I was like, that's already a lot being in a newly engaged. But I was thinking that maybe he would be good for her as far as that was concerned. But then when they announced that they were doing the reality show, I was just like, why would you do that? That is entirely too much for even just a person who isn't fighting depression issues. And then, once you started to see them on the show, that was just something else where you just would kind of cringe at certain scenes. I have not seen the show, but I've seen little clips that they put on Instagram, and just the little clips have made me cringe. So I was just like, Michelle, I don't know if that was the best idea. So this engagement being broken up, I can't say it is much of a surprise. She says that, they still love each other and she wishes him the best. But I just want Michelle Williams to go sit down somewhere in private and deal with her issues, okay? She does not have to be #fearless. I know she has a song that she just released by that name. But you don't have to do all of this out in the public eye for everyone. I know that people give Michelle Williams a hard time, but I think that most of us would just allow her to have the time to get herself back better together, and not have to go through all of this on social media and all that. So I just want her to go somewhere, be quiet, get with yourself, her God, whatever it is that will center her and get her back straight. I think that that's what she needs to do. And we don't need to be privy to any of that. Who knows? Her and Chad Williams may make it back together. Okay, but she's got to get herself right first. Hold your head up, Michelle Williams. Okay, you guys, so I have been meaning to mention this a long time ago. One of my Roxstars, Saycon, you guys remember her. That was the one who played that's the rock star who's on why I can't talk, on Scandal. You guys remember she was playing the director. She had asked me a long time ago to talk about Melyssa Ford, and I didn't. I forgot. And then I never really think about Melyssa Ford because I didn't really watch Blood, Sweat, and Heels. That was a reality show that she was on. I didn't follow Hollywood Hollywood Unlocked because I don't like Jason Lee, but I know that she was one of the hosts on that show. And Melyssa Ford was just never really in my purview, but I knew who she was, of course, you know, video vixen from back in the day, paid her dues and whatnot. So back in the summer, she had a car accident, and it was like near fatal. And I remember when it happened, and I remember them talking about the accident, and then all of a sudden it seemed like she just, it's weird how they don't talk about her accident at all. And I don't expect them to follow, like if she's ill and she's trying to recover, you know, I don't expect them to follow her life and things like that. But it's just strange how you don't hear anything about Melyssa Ford. I had forgotten about her. And then I remember seeing a post where she said that she was like battling like really like I think she said crushing depression. Okay, just trying to come to terms that her life was forever changed after that auto accident. I do remember seeing her post about that, and then I didn't hear nothing else about her again. And it's just odd to me that I don't know if I'm explaining it right. I just never heard, nobody is talking about it. Okay, so that's why I was like, let me mention it today. Now, I did see recently that she posted, you know, that she is making some strides, she's making some gains, and she is proud of herself. You know, I guess this accident has probably made her look at herself totally different, probably gonna make her look at a whole bunch of people around her totally different as well. You know, my prayers up for her, because I really just honestly feel like they kind of like left that girl in the, like left her in the dust, you know. Now I don't follow Jason Lee, so I don't, know if he does occasionally mention her. He might, but it is just odd how I never ever see anything on, the only two big blogs that I follow is The Shade Room and Baller Alert. And other than, one or two times, they don't mention it. But I sure do hope she gets better, and that she can get better enough to be back in the industry that she was working in. And because that'll be a really good story for her. But what do you guys think? And am I the only one who don't, who thinks that like somebody just kind of was like, forget Melyssa Ford? Do you guys get that same feeling? And lastly, you guys, in quickies, I mean, talk about a grand opening and grand closing, right? Just last week, we was talking about Kevin Hart and how he had accepted the position of hosting the next Oscar Awards. Well, it seems that Kevin Hart, on the very day that I posted the last video, decided to step down. And that was because the Academy was giving him grief about some comments that he had said or tweeted about his, how he would be disappointed if his son was gay. Evidently, Kevin Hart had apologized for those words in the past, has done it numerous times, and now the Academy was asking for him to apologize for it again. You guys know I don't even like Kevin Hart, all right? But I definitely agree with him. The reason that he stepped down, he said that I've already apologized for it, numerous times, and I'm not going to keep apologizing to appease anybody. Okay, he was a different person then, and, he has grown. I saw on Bondi's page where she was discussing how people don't give you the chance to grow. People say, oh, no, that's how you felt. You always keep that feeling. And that's totally not true. People definitely grow. Their opinions changed with their experiences, what they see, what they experience in life. You can't tell me that Kevin Hart hasn't come more in contact with the gay community, working in Hollywood. You guys, now he's not in just black Hollywood anymore. He done made the switch over into the A, into the A list. With him having more and more experience with the gay community, I'm sure his eyes were opened. I mean, it happens. So for people to say, oh yeah, you always, once you think that way, you always think that way, that is so totally not true. And it's not fair for people to not give people room to grow like that. So I believe that his apology was sincere, and I don't think that he should have to keep apologizing over and over. And you cannot tell me that the Academy didn't know this before he accepted the position. It was almost like they were trying to make an example out of him, and again, don't like him, but I can't help but respect his decision not to go any further with it. You know what? Y'all can have this job. Y'all going to put somebody else, because they saying that they're having a hard time trying to figure out who's going to host. But yeah, I agree totally. You shouldn't have to keep on saying sorry when you've already said it enough. It seems your boy Michael Cohen was sentenced to 3 years in prison for making false statements to Congress, tax evasion, and arranging payments during the 2016 elections to silence women who had claimed they had been having affairs with y'all stupid ass president. I feel bad for the man, but hey, this is what happened when you get in bed with the devil. This is proof right here that Donald Trump has no sympathy, no loyalty. And it's funny because he's always going on and on about people being loyal to him, but Donald Trump is not loyal to any fucking body. They can be his ace boon coon until something go down, and now, you know, Donald Trump was like, I didn't tell him to do nothing. He made them decisions on his own as a lawyer. He should have known better what he should and shouldn't do. Give him the maximum sentence. I was just like, damn. That Donald Trump got them people, them Republicans, like, so stressed out. I feel like they must be afraid of the fact that if they turn on him, that he gonna throw him under the bus. Okay, so they are kind of locked into having to like him him in public and loathe him in private. Looking at Michael Cohen and his poor wife, child, I said, this whole thing has completely demolished that wife. Okay, if he wasn't holding on to her yesterday when they was walking into that courthouse, the woman would have fell out. I believe it would have been just over for her. It's a sad situation, but y'all stupid ass president got all these people going down. I talk to Debbie all the time about it, and every time she be like, oh, they really gonna get him now. I'm like, fuck, we done been through this for 3 goddamn years. Still ain't nothing happened to Trump. I still don't see nothing happening to Trump. It would be nice if it does, but you know, I feel like he gonna finish out this term, at least these 4 years he gonna finish out. I believe they just hoping that all this shit that they got will make people not vote for him again. But I just honestly, I don't see anything happening. We'll see. I'll just leave it alone. Again, not a political pundit, so we'll see. I think the men out there should be happy that there's a Matt Barnes out there fighting for the justice of the father when it comes to these child support cases and you know, getting their child support payments lowered. Now, you guys know I don't have sympathy for none of these men who get involved with these women and then know that they're not gonna be with them and then got to be fighting with them, you know, over child support. And you guys already knew how the system was, that usually they were just saying, you know, a certain portion of what you make is what is going to be granted. That's always how the system had been in the past, but now it looks like men are making strides, honey. And as long as you have the money and the time to be fighting back and forth with your baby mama in court, it looks like if you are persistent, that it'll work out for you. So Matt Barnes was asking for the courts to lower his payment from $20,000 a month to, I think he was trying to get it down to $6,000 a month for his twin boys. The courts lowered his payments, especially because he has custody of the kids. So there's no reason for him to be giving all this money to Gloria when he has custody of those boys. Now, it wasn't lowered to $6,000. Now he has to pay $7,500 monthly for his boys. This is temporary until they, you know, hash out all the details of their custody agreement, but yeah, a very large drop. Okay, and I can't say I feel sorry for Gloria. I mean, she don't have a kid, so I mean, even $7,500 is a whole lot. I mean, I hope she was saving some of them $20,000. I mean, damn, that's a big difference. I almost feel like it's gonna be lowered even more once, you know, they finish the custody agreement, and because she doesn't have the boys. Not like that. You know, she has them, I think, what did we say, 11 days out of the month? All that is going to factor in. I was just like, damn. Like I said, I hope she was saving a few of them coins. Congratulations are in order to Diamonds and Pearls and Little Lyrica. I guess it's true that whoever gets on your nerves the most when you're pregnant is who the baby turns out to look the most like. And child, if that baby, what's his name? Ocean Zion Bentley. If baby Dap don't look just like Mama Dap, child, I know something. Just a lighter skinned version. But Mama Dap can't get on nobody's fucking reality show and say that child is not Diamonds and Pearls baby. Looks exactly like her. And I was like, well, I guess Diamonds and Pearls might look like Mama Dap, but I don't know. That baby definitely looks more like. And then it's funny because I wasn't on Instagram that whole day, didn't see any of the pictures of Little Ocean. I happened to look on it at that next morning, and I had like 36 tags. Everybody was tagging me in the picture of the baby, And I finally saw the baby, and I was like, oh my God. That baby looked just like Mama Dap. Dead on her. Okay, so no more questions. Mama Dap gonna have to come up with a whole nother storyline next season. Maybe she can bring her Nigerian husband on, you know, and do something with that. But as far as who baby this is, we ain't got to discuss it no more. Congratulations to Diamonds and Pearls and Little Lyrica on Ocean Zion Bentley, always known as Baby Dap. And lastly, you guys, this Atlanta earthquake, child. It was 4:14 in the morning. It hit in Spring City, Tennessee. Well, they said a few miles outside of Spring City, Tennessee, which is about 170 miles, give or take, from Atlanta. It was so funny. I just happened to be up because Joe is home, and the nigga had just got home from being out. Joe being home from college and being out at night, you guys always know it fucks my sleep up. I had just happened to be awake because I had woke up to go to the bathroom about 3 o'clock, and I noticed that Joe wasn't home. So I text him like, when the fuck are you coming home? And he was like, I'm actually on my way home now. So I couldn't fall back asleep. So I was laying there waiting for Joe to get home. And once Joe got home, I was just kind of settling to kind of fall back asleep. And then all of a sudden I could hear something going, it was the vent for my heater, my air conditioning vent in my bedroom. I was like, I know this heater is not fixing to fucking go out, and it is freezing cold. And that lasted for a few seconds, and then it just stopped. I didn't feel no movement or anything. But Joe texted me and he said, did the house just shake? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I hope ain't nobody trying to break in this house, okay? Because I'm going to have to shoot their ass. Mister right there next to me knocked out. Ain't felt nothing. Ain't woke up nothing, child. So I actually wouldn't have woke up either if I been asleep. But then Joe texted me right back and said, oh yeah, on Twitter they're saying that it was an earthquake. And then Jada texted me and said, did you feel that? And I was just telling her what. So it was so funny. Me, Joe, and Jada, we was up and Mister was knocked the fuck out the whole time. That next morning though, you would have thought, child, that we had the Valley earthquake in 1994, was it, when we had that big old earthquake in LA? Oh, these folks was so, and I was like, Atlanta was not even the center. Okay, we was 170 miles away from it. So we just really honestly got, if you're from LA or if you're from the West Coast and you know the differences in it, it wasn't that jolt, hard earthquake shake that stresses you the fuck out. It wasn't even that real bouncy one. It was just really just like a little doo 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 doo. Now that's here in Atlanta. If you were up in Tennessee, you probably felt something different. But it honestly felt more like a very small minor aftershock, here for y'all who are familiar with earthquakes. So I mean, I was fine. Like, the earthquake happened and then we went to sleep, but people was like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I just noticed now, realized that I don't know what to do in an earthquake. I shouldn't laugh because, people, if they haven't experienced it. Yeah, you ain't lived until you done been in one of them 6.5 magnitude earthquakes, and it's right there in your damn backyard. But it did remind me of that big earthquake I told you guys in 94, I believe it was, when me and Deborah lived together, and child, we went and got us some money from FEMA, okay, because we had a little damage in the apartment or whatnots, and they gave us food stamps, child. We had a big old FEMA party. We had invited all these people to the apartment, child. We had a big old party. Y'all should have seen us shopping for the stuff for the party and for the house and all. I mean, it just was ridiculous, you guys. But yeah, to be young again, that FEMA time was something else. Anyway, we all survived it. They say that there's a big earthquake that's going to happen in St. Louis, Missouri. Okay, they say it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. But all these little smaller earthquakes usually help take the tension off of the big one. While they can be very unnerving because there's no way to predict an earthquake that's coming, I still would rather be in an earthquake than in a tornado and a hurricane. So yeah, that's it, you guys. But if you were here in Atlanta, did you guys survive the earthquake? Was y'all okay? Y'all gonna be all right. But just to let you know, if there ever is an earthquake, you just get under something solid and just ride it on out. All right, Rockstars, that's it. Let me get off of here. We do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.